Hello everyone, welcome to this episode of the Hollywood City Vlog. My name is Corey. Today we're going to do a little bit of a transfer roundup with the window closing, so sit back and enjoy. We'll start off by talking about the completed deals, starting with today's transfer deadline day deal that sends Angelino to Bundesliga side RB Leipzig, where he'll join Julian Nagelsmann's side and compete with Marcel Halstenberg for the starting position at left back. Angelino was brought into the club primarily to provide injury protection just in case Benjamin Mendy was hurt again. However, with him putting together a good run of performances and staying healthy for most of the year, along with the presence of Alexander Zinchenko, America Port, and also with Joao Cancelo being able to play on the left side of the pitch, Angelino was really becoming pretty expendable to this side pretty quickly. And it was probably best for all parties involved that he found a good loan. And this is really an ideal situation for him. Nagelsmann has done a great job at Leipzig. And while he will have to compete with Halstenberg for playing time, they are competing on three fronts right now, including in the Champions League. So there should be some opportunities for him to get game time. And if he can, and he can go on to impress, Leipzig have been handed a £25 million option to purchase him, and it could be a great deal really in the end for all parties involved. The next two transfers we're going to talk about are for youth players. The first one is for Slobodan Tedic. He's a 19-year-old striker. We signed him from FC, and I'm going to butcher this, FC Kukariki in the Serbian Super League. He's a very promising young player. He's been loaned directly back. He's likely not to be somebody who ends up playing for City, but he could be an option in the future as somebody who is loaned on to one of City's sister clubs and potentially a player that they sell on for profit. The second transfer is of Benjamin Garre, a once very promising Argentinian youngster that City had brought in a few seasons ago and really had high expectations for. However, his career plateaued, and instead of making the jump from promising young player to a potential first-team player with City, he's been sent back to Argentina, sold for £2 million to Racing Club, where he'll have the opportunity to start for Racing Club and potentially get his career back on track, back at home. Next, onto the rumored deals that we've seen over the past week or two. The first, and this is one that could still be completed here over this upcoming week, is for Brazilian youngster Yan Couto. I hope I said that right. If I didn't, I apologize. He's a 17-year-old right back right now playing for Coritiba. He has not yet made a senior appearance for them. However, he is playing for Brazil's U18 side, where he's really shown out. He's a player that has been sought by a number of Europe's biggest clubs. He's been heavily courted by both Bayern and Barcelona, and really until the past week or two, it was widely believed that a deal with Barcelona was effectively done and he would be joining that side. Instead, at the last minute, it appears that City may have pipped this deal. I have checked, I have done my research. The player's agent has flown to UK, the player himself has flown to UK. I cannot confirm that they are actually in Manchester, but it seems highly likely that that's the case. If the deal does go through, it will be for a potential 6 to 9 million euros up front, with another potential 6 million euros as add-ons. The player is a phenomenal dribbler. He's been called the next Dani Alves, and when you watch his highlight videos, it's easy to see why. He's a player that really, really likes to attack down the right wing. He likes to take his man on. He likes to dribble his man. He's a decent crosser of the ball. He needs to improve a little bit if he's going to play for City. A decent passer. He's going to have to improve a little bit. But overall, there's a lot of talent there. He's not the biggest player in the world, but he's a sound tackler. When he puts a foot in, he does it with strength and skill. He's got a lot of potential. He won't be able to play for City right away, almost assuredly. I don't think he'll be able to get a work permit just because he doesn't play for the national team, and he won't be coming in for a big enough transfer fee. So it's almost assured that if he does come in the summer, that he will have to eventually be loaned out, and that City will need to figure out a way to get a work permit for him in the future. Still a really big deal, a great signing if City can make it for a very, very bright young prospect. The second big rumor that's gotten traction this week is the idea that Leroy Sane might be having second thoughts about leaving City. I'd encourage people to not believe that. First of all, these reports are coming from Bild. Bild has been all over the place with their Sane information over the past 6 or 8 months. Additionally, most of these reports are talking about the idea that his new agents are asking for more money from Bayern. Bayern are hesitant, and that he might be getting interest from other clubs like Real Madrid or Barcelona. This all sounds and feels very much like agents trying to drum up the price, trying to eke out the last bit of money that they can out of any deal for him in the future. Additionally, City have already made an offer for Sane. They've kept their offer for Sane on the table, and they've never improved it. And there's no sign that they have any intention of doing so. So if what this really is a play from Sane's agents to try and improve whatever offer he's going to get, it's almost certainly not going to be the case that an improved offer will be coming from City. So as much as we'd all like for him to stay, as much as I like for him to stay, and as much as there is still a chance that that deal with Bayern falls through, I think that for right now, we have to treat this for what it is. Probably a lot of posturing from agents and journalists taking advantage of a good clickbait opportunity. The last rumor involves Inter's standout center back, Milan Skriniar. Spanish source El Desmarque is saying that there are rumors that he could be joining City in the summer for a fee in the region of 80 million euros. I've seen other reports saying that he could be joining City for a fee in the region of 100 million euros. Either way, an enormous deal for bringing in one of the best young center backs in the world. This also feels highly unlikely. While City might very well be in the market for a center back this summer, I don't think it's quite as nailed on as people think. And I'm not certain that they are going to go for somebody like Skriniar, who is a good passer of the ball, but may or may not be as good as someone like Pep wants. Either way, we're talking about one of the biggest, if not the single biggest transfer fee for a defender in history. There are going to be some issues if City are going to try and bring in any defender. And the biggest issue right now when you're looking at roster construction is both that City are capped out in terms of how many international players they can carry. They will gain at least one spot when David Silva leaves. They'll probably gain a second when Leroy Sane leaves. If that continues to not be a problem, the second issue is that City are already carrying 4 first-team center backs with Laporte, John Stones, Nicolas Otamendi, and Fernandinho. If City are going to bring in another option at center back, it's likely that they'll try to offload somebody first. And the most obvious answers, with Fernandinho having just signed a new contract, will be for either Nicolas Otamendi to be sold or for John Stones to be moved on. If City can't find a deal for either one of those players, and it will be difficult to sell either one given their wages, it will be difficult for them to justify carrying a 5th first-team center back, and in the process, blocking the progress of promising youngsters like Eric Garcia and Taylor Harwood-Bellis. So as much as City supporters would like to see it, as much as I would like to see it, I think that there are still some things that need to be sorted out before any real talk of City bringing in yet another center back can really come to fruition. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of the Hollywood City Vlog. I hope you've enjoyed our transfer window roundup. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel, leave any comments you have below. Also, make sure to check out Reddit for my writing. Make sure to follow me on Twitter, and make sure to sign up for my Patreon for exclusive access to tactical analysis and transfer news. Thank you so much. Have a lovely day.